Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and family. Welcome back to the Abundant Way Ministries Tuesday evening empowerment session, series, season. How does it go?
Hi.
You got seasons, you got episodes. No, you got seasons.
You got seasons and you got episodes.
Oh, what is this series? Do they have series?
That's the season.
That's the season. Anyway.
Wait, are we live?
We are absolutely live.
Okay.
Today is August 11th, 2026. It is 7:31 p.m. and we are live. And we are in Decatur, Georgia. Coming to you live from Decatur, Georgia.
Why are we in Decatur, Georgia?
Well, last week we were split. So last week I was in South Carolina. I was in Greenville, South Carolina. Yeah. We did have some technical difficulties.
We did.
Because the Wi-Fi in those hotel rooms, I was away on work business, and the Wi-Fi in those hotel rooms are not great at all unless you want to pay for it. So we switched to Melly Boo running the show. So some of y'all were able to, I know that some of you guys were able to catch the recording, and I was able to respond to at least one of you during the recording. So thank you for joining. If you were not able to catch it, it was still a great session. So go back and catch that recording, share it with someone. It was awesome. And today is going to be just as awesome. It's going to be no different. We're coming with all cylinders. So without further ado, I know Miss Melody was struggling with Facebook again. We're not going to deal with this. Somebody's already on.
There we go.
You're going to have to get with it.
Nope.
All right.
It wouldn't pop up. There it is.
All right.
Okay. Now I see it. I just want to make sure we're on.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Talk to me.
Talk to you.
Yeah. What?
Hello.
Hey.
Okay.
Good to see you again, by the way, in person.
In person. We're back together in our session.
Let me fix myself.
Well, now you wait till you go live to do that. Okay. So
hey, Robin.
Hey, Robin.
Robin Davis.
They have no power. Oh my gosh, it hit Ohio.
Oh wow. So yeah, we are aware that there is a tornado, active tornado going around. So your daughter in Indianapolis?
She's in Maryville,
Indiana. Their power is out as well. So my sister Robin, she's in Cincinnati, Ohio. She just reported that her power is out.
Yep.
We're good down here in Georgia so far. We've got some thunderstorms and some lightning going on.
Yeah.
And
I know tornadoes hit down in Illinois. As well. So a good friend of mine actually had a part of a tree go through the side of her house. So but thank God that they were not home when this happened. So
well, stay safe, Robin. If you feel the need to go in the basement, go in the basement. You know how we do it in Ohio. Go in the basement.
Right. Right.
But in any case, use your best judgment. We need to check on Daddy to see how he's doing up there in Michigan. Is it going up that way?
Not sure. I haven't heard from my mom, so
okay.
I think she's good.
Okay.
But we'll check on them.
All right.
Unless Daddy pops on. Okay. So for those, maybe you didn't catch the first episode last week, which is our August empowerment series. We're talking about disciplining of our stewardship. Stewardship of our time. And our sub is living intentionally without living exhausted.
So we're talking about the discipline of rest.
Well, that's today.
That's today.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about. The
yep.
discipline of rest.
Yeah.
And that is all part of stewardship of time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you should really, let's say, I hate to use the word program, but you should really program rest into your time schedule.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times what we do is we treat rest just like we treat tithes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
yeah.
it's the last thought,
mm-hmm.
right? After I've done paid all my bills and after I have done everything I wanted to do with my money, then I'll tithe with right. what's left over. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we do the same thing with our rest.
Yeah.
Let me get everything I need to get done, and then whatever time I have left over, I'm gonna just fall out in the bed. And I call that rest. Mm-hmm. But that's not really rest. Mm-hmm. That is exhaustion, which leads to fatigue. Mm-hmm. And that's not the rest prescription that God gave in the book of Genesis when he says, 6 days shall thou work, and on the 7th day thou shalt rest.
Right. So when you think about rest, so what we did, what we do one time during the year, during our empowerment sessions, you see that we took the month of July off. Mm-hmm. We rested from the empowerment series.
Right.
And it's not that we went on vacation or we just didn't want to do it. Sometimes taking a rest is also a reset, mm-hmm. right? And getting you prepared for the next. Mm-hmm. So we're going to dive into all of these points because we're calling them out, but we're going to dive into them more. But I want you to know that you guys understand that, you've got you're living. So you come home from work and you have to get dinner and you have to eat dinner and, prepare yourself for dinner and whatever activity you do after work, what have you. If you don't rest or get the proper rest, you're not going to be efficient on the next day when it's time to go back to work, mm-hmm. right? So it really helps you with your next day or the next thing that you have to do. Rest requires you to rest requires the body to settle down and get ready for reactivation, mm-hmm. right? So our first talking point, it says rest requires trust. Can you stop and believe God will keep working?
Let's emphasize mm-hmm. that statement a different way.
Okay.
Can you stop
mm-hmm.
and let God keep working, and trust that God will keep working?
Mm-hmm.
So that is, again, the whole idea behind that is trusting God, mm-hmm. right? Sometimes we think we have to keep working because we don't trust God. We don't trust that God is going to continue mm-hmm. to do the work while you rest. Mm-hmm. So we got to keep going.
Right.
So the question again is, can you stop believing that God will keep working?
Right. It's if you look at Mark 6:31, says this is when Jesus invited his disciples to come away and rest mm-hmm. after an intense period of ministry, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. And what makes it significant is because the work wasn't finished. Mm-hmm. They still had work to do. There was, people needed healing. He still had to speak to the people. There were still people to meet. So everything that he was doing, he still had work to do, mm-hmm. right? But Jesus intentionally said, it's time to stop.
Time to stop, right.
Because if you don't stop, you're going to run yourself in the ground. Mm-hmm. And then you're not going to be any good for anybody or for anything, mm-hmm. right? So we have to really trust, and this is where faith comes in, that when you are resting, you're trusting and believing, and you're resting in peace mm-hmm. because you're trusting and believing that God is still working. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're trusting and believing that behind the scenes, he's got it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so you can sleep peacefully and get up the next day and pick up where you left off.
Right.
And keep going.
Right. And sometimes we don't rest because we believe that everything depends on us.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so again, trusting God. And I've been in those situations before where I'm involved in some intense project at work, and you've seen me work well into 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned over the years that if you just go to bed and wake up, ain't nothing changed.
Ain't nothing changed. Right.
Ain't nothing changed.
Nope.
And oftentimes when you do take that rest, God works in the background, and when you wake up, things are better than it was before you went to bed.
Yep.
So he's saying, take that rest.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel like the whole world is dependent on you and everything is resting on your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
You got to trust that God got it. God got your back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't, a lot of times we don't rest because of fear,
mm-hmm.
or we don't want to let go of the control.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or we are so gung-ho with pleasing people.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are interrupting
mm-hmm.
our rest.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And God wants us to rest, because
mm-hmm.
again, if you don't have rest, you can't be productive.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be successful in whatever it is you're trying to do or whatever it is you're working on. So what we have to do is, with our time, is you said it when we first started, we have to intentionally set time to rest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to intentionally say, okay, after a certain hour, I'm not sending any more emails.
Mm-hmm.
After a certain time, I'm not taking any more phone calls.
Right.
Some people may have to turn off their phone
mm-hmm.
because they can't let it go. Right.
So Robin said, I'm resting during this retirement, so I know God got this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good, Robin, but I want you to think about it another way, just like what Melly Boo just said. And that's the mistake that a lot of us make. A lot of people have made, is they wait until they retire from work
mm-hmm.
to rest.
Mm-hmm.
But you should be resting. You should have rest scheduled
mm-hmm.
in your day, in your week, in your year.
Yep.
Right? So God said again, 6 days shall thou work, and on the 7th day thou shalt rest.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's systematically scheduling and programming rest into the week. Right? And we ought to do the same thing mm-hmm. in our day. Like, even with me working from home at a computer, I should technically stop every 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Every 45 minutes to an hour, I should stop working, take at least 15 minutes to rest, mm-hmm. to do something different, mm-hmm. right? Because guess what happens? I'm not exerting myself physically, but mentally, mm-hmm. I'm draining myself.
Yep.
And that's just as bad as physically draining yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's even at work. When I was, doing the 9 to 5, I had to intentionally make myself take a lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I would sit at the desk all day
mm-hmm.
and work,
mm-hmm.
and just work nonstop,
right.
Which is not good, because come 2, 3 o'clock, I'm burnt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired. I'm done. I don't want to do anymore. Right. My brain is like, enough. Right. Already. My eyes are like, I don't want to look at this screen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to intentionally, if you're working, make sure you're taking your allotted time for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, you should technically be taking 45 minutes. Work for 45 minutes and take a 15-minute
mm-hmm.
break. But if your job doesn't allow that, whatever breaks they give you, take them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you just got to go and sit in the bathroom.
Yeah, but the concept of I'll rest when I retire. We've seen people work until retirement and then only have a few years left and then pass away, right? But if you take those breaks and take those vacations are important. And take that time off while you're working. When you do retire, you may have more years left. You won't be so exhausted and drained mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yeah. It's I don't know if we really realize how important rest really is for us mentally. Not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. Because we get so busy and stay so busy. When is our quiet time with God? When do we have time to just sit and listen? We don't.
And that's why it's got to be intentional. And I think I said that word often last week, intentional. My old pastor, Dr. J. Sherman Pelt, God rest his soul, he taught me about intentionality. Because when I was on the track, on the ministry track, on the pastoral track, I was like, well, if it come, it come. He's like, no, you got to be intentional about it. And that's true with stuff you're trying to achieve, as well as it's true with your rest. You've got to approach the idea and the concept of rest with intention, right? Or else you'll be just like what Robin just posted. I felt like I was running out of gas mentally and physically crashing. If you don't rest programmatically, systematically, on schedule, then yes, your mind will crash. Your body will crash, right? You will have aches and pains where you don't really need them. Because you've never given yourself rest. That's what prayer and meditation is also good for. We know prayer is about communicating with God, but meditation is about releasing from everything. It's an interesting exercise to try to not think about anything. And that's hard.
That's hard.
Right?
I tried it. I was like,
yeah. Because, and again, that's all part of rest. Because a lot of times we think, well, I didn't go to work today, so I'm resting. Or I'm in the bed, so that means I'm resting. But that doesn't mean you're resting if your mind is still going. And that's one thing that I'm guilty of.
Yeah.
I'll be in the bed, it'll be 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and my mind is still going. Right? Yep. And that means that if my mind isn't resting, then guess what? My body also isn't resting, even if I'm not moving. I'm laying in the bed.
Yep. And that you just dived into our next point, where it says rest is renewal, not just inactivity. So you think you're resting because you're simply not doing anything. So you're just sitting on the couch, right? But your mind is still doing it. You're worrying, you're planning, you're replaying conversations, you're checking emails, you're scrolling, you're thinking about tomorrow. Your mind has not stopped. Right? So even though your body stopped because you're just sitting there, the mind never did. Right? And that's not rest. So
absolutely. Do you know they've done experiments where they can put the sensors on your brain and have you think about a certain activity or a certain exercise, and it registers in your body as if your body was actually doing that thing. So if they put those things on there and I close my eyes and I imagine myself running, my body is going through the experience of running. You feel what I'm saying? So can you imagine if your mind is constantly going?
Right.
Even while you're in the bed, while you're supposed to be resting, then it's actually causing wear and tear on your body, even though you're not moving.
Yep. Yep. And that's why it says godly rest restores the whole person, restores you from head to toe. So with physical rest, your body needs recovery, right? Mental rest, your mind needs relief from constant decisions and information. Emotional rest, there is a such thing. You need space from constantly carrying other people's needs.
Oh, that's good right there. Especially for those of us who are parents, especially mothers, right? Because even if you're not at work, you're constantly working on someone else's needs, right? And so while you're not on the clock, you haven't punched your timesheet, but because you're constantly working on other people's needs, whether it be your children or your parents or relatives or friends, you're still not resting. You're still not giving your mind, body, soul, and spirit the adequate rest, the adequate time it needs to rest, to refuel, replenish, and restore.
Yep. And then spiritual rest. Your soul needs uninterrupted communion with God. Some people think that because they sleep, they're resting. That's not so. Because you can go to sleep and wake up and still be exhausted. You lost. We're right here.
I don't know. We got all the way over there.
We're on 2. We're on 2.
Okay.
And turn the page, and we're right here. Okay. All right. You go turn it back. Yeah. So just because you're sleeping doesn't mean you're resting. Because if you think about it, you can go to sleep, but then you're tossing and turning, or you're not deeply asleep, you know, or you'll wake up out of your sleep and then you'll go back, and then you'll wake up again and then you'll go back. So it's your body has not fully rested, and then you wake up and you're exhausted. It's like I know I went to bed,
right,
but you didn't rest.
And that's why I flipped back, because I wanted to understand this. Why is it so difficult for us to rest? You know, so I think we get it. Like, resting is important. It's a necessity. And we understand that there is a challenge. It's an obvious challenge with many of us when it comes to rest. And the question is, and I'm posing this question to those of you who are watching right now, why is it so difficult for some of us to rest? So type your answer in the comments. Why do you think it's difficult? Thank you for whoever else just joined. I think that's Mahogany. Hey, Mahogany. Why is it so difficult for some of us to rest?
I think again, a lot of us will put the responsibility or the burden on us that we have to do. We have to take care of this, or it's my responsibility to take on this, or I need to make sure this is done. Nobody else can do it. I can only do it.
Right.
So those type of things can make us feel like we can't stop. And then there's the guilt.
Yeah. We feel guilty.
Yeah.
And where does that come from?
We do it to ourselves.
Yeah, we feel something, and I get that. Like, we feel like we know that we have things that need to get done, and who am I to stop and take a rest and it's not done?
Right.
Like, if it doesn't get done, then it's my fault.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So we feel guilty. Like if I don't achieve a certain thing at a certain time, then it's my fault. So in order to avoid that, I'm not going to rest until it's done. But guess what? It may never get done if you don't rest.
Right. I was going to say, you're not going to rest until it gets done, but it ain't going to get done until you rest. Think about that.
If you don't rest. Yeah. What if you work yourself to death?
And people have done it.
And then the thing that you were trying to get done doesn't get done because you checked out too soon for lack of rest. So it's important. We gotta take that time to rest.
Yeah. It says because even though again we may think the body is tired, but sometimes the soul is tired also. You depleted. You can't take no more. Right? We're trying to push ourselves to keep going and keep going and keep going. You know, I've heard people, I've even done it. Well, you know, I'm working off of 2 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep. But how effective can you be?
Oh, I saw some, I don't see it that much anymore, but a few years back, you know how you got your influencers on social media, and these influencers are working in the area of empowerment, financial empowerment, entrepreneurship, making money. And the younger generation, those influencers are like, rest is for suckers. Rest is overrated. Ain't nobody got time for rest. I sleep 4 hours a day. And you know, and they were bragging about that as if that's the reason for their success. Here's the thing. They may have reached a certain goal or a certain milestone. They may have achieved a certain thing at that time, but here's what they're going to miss: the longevity of life.
Right. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So you made your $1 million, you know, in 3 to 5 years, but on year 6 you so burnt out you're no good to you or anyone else. Yeah.
And so, what are some ways that we can restore our bodies? What are some ways that we can restore or replenish, build ourselves back up, get ourselves back up to, you know, being depleted? Because look, that's what it is that when we don't rest, we deplete ourselves. You know, mind, body, spirit, all that depleted, just gone. So some of the things that says prayer, walking, worship, reading, just being quiet, going to your secret place, you know, being outdoors helps replenish you. Healthy recreation. Is that working out? That's what that means by healthy recreation. Working out?
No, not necessarily.
Like playing tennis or something.
Whatever your recreation is, you know, recreation could be those walks, those hiking, trail, whatever your
camping,
shooting pool, whatever your recreation is, swimming, whatever it is that takes your mind off of your normal working activities, and allows and causes you to relax. Right. So yeah, I like shooting pool. So if I'm fishing, recreation. So if I'm fishing, let me pronounce my words correctly because we're on the internet. So when I go fishing, see, Mahogany said she walked 5 miles on Saturday. So it's the same. So if I go fishing or if Mahogany's walking, what we're not doing is thinking about, or what we shouldn't be doing, is thinking about all the stuff we left at work. And that's now, okay, so I can definitely say when I do go fishing, I ain't thinking about nothing. I ain't thinking about work. I ain't thinking about anything.
Yep.
But trying to catch that fish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mahogany, are you doing the walking with the word challenge? I'm just putting it out there.
Are
you reading my shameless plug? Are you reading or listening to the word while you walk? Okay. I really like this one that they have. It says spending time with people who replenish rather than drain you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can you imagine how much time and how much energy we give to other people? Drama.
Oh, drama. Yeah. They're complaining.
They're
talking about other folks.
Gossiping.
Yeah, that's draining.
Oh my God.
Arguing and fussing and fighting.
Yes.
But listen, I want to go back to something that list. You said prayer,
yeah,
worship. Those two things are related to the church experience, right? And the reason why I want to bring this up is because, again, going back to the book of Genesis, when the Bible says that he created the world in 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested, and then there became a statute that God put in place for us to follow. 6 days shalt thou work, and on the seventh day, or on one day, you shall rest. We associated that with church. So for us whose work week starts on a Monday, we'll work from Monday through Friday. On Saturday, we're working at home, doing our chores and errands and running around. And then on Sunday, we go to church to worship, to pray. But oftentimes, especially if you're very involved in your church, you're not worshiping, you're working.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So some of us, I've done it for years because I was working in the church as a minister. Go to church at 7 o'clock in the morning and don't leave till everybody you remember we were opening up the church. And we were the same ones closing down the church, locking the doors, turning the alarm on.
Yep.
Which means that you're in church all day. Now watch this. Not only did we open up the church and close down the church, during the service, we're working. You're working the media booth. I'm running some of the services, doing opening, doing the offering, doing the prayer, gathering the people, working. And so you're not resting just because you're at church.
Right.
And so you really have to be intentional and not substitute that worship experience, if that's you, for rest.
Yeah.
Because you're not resting.
Yeah.
In fact, for those of us who are preachers, they said there was a statistic that I learned in school that said when a preacher preaches a sermon, it's equivalent to him running X amount of miles. Right?
Yeah, it's draining.
It's draining. So you don't see him up there running, but you know that when I preach, I come home, fall out. Because it drains everything out of you. So for those of us who were actually working in the ministry, Sunday was not a day of rest. And that's very important because it's dangerous for those of you who are in that context. So don't think just because you're going to church, that's your day of rest or that you're resting. Again, you got to be intentional. So what my pastor, Dr. J. Sherman Pelt, also taught me was his rest day was actually on Monday. So he didn't take any phone calls on Monday. So we'd have to wait till Tuesday to call him because Sunday was not a rest day.
Right. So that wasn't considered your Sabbath day.
So his Sabbath had to be on Monday.
Yep. Did you know that? Well, okay. Let me before we go on to our point 3, it says rest is not simply stopping activity. Rest is allowing God to restore what activity has depleted. Okay, so let's remember that. Rest is allowing God to restore what activity has been depleted. Okay? So not just stopping the activity. You have to get the full rest.
Right.
You gotta rest every part, the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Okay? Now, did you know that rest protects the fruit you're praying for?
No.
Yes. So, and it's taken from Exodus 28-10. And you just talked about it. You talked about Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
And it says Sabbath wasn't God's suggestion after people became exhausted.
Right.
God built rest into the rhythm of life.
That's good. That's good. And so that really speaks to what we said at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Rest should be scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It should be intentional and it should be scheduled. I like the way they put that. God built rest into the rhythm of life.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah. So think about, they use an example of farming. You think about farming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the land that is constantly used without replenishment eventually becomes depleted. So if you are farming, right, and you're constantly using the land for whatever you're growing, right? But after you take that harvest, if you don't replenish it, then there's nothing else.
Right.
It's depleted. It's all gone. Right? So we have to do the same thing for ourselves.
Right.
Whatever activity we're doing, or whatever our gifting is, whatever fruit we're providing, if we don't rest, it'll never replenish.
Right.
Just like an apple tree. Or oranges that grow on trees, right? Mm-hmm. Once you pluck it, you get all of the fruit off of there. Mm-hmm. Give everything that it produces. But if it doesn't take time to rest and replenish, get no more.
Right. That's good. That's good. So the Bible says, and in the Bible, God said, "Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth." Mm-hmm. So when it comes to us, when we're fruitful and when we produce fruit and we multiply, we give it out, we give out of ourselves. Mm-hmm. Rest is the way we replenish.
Yeah. Yeah. And
for us.
Mm-hmm, for us. And a lot of us, we've got the strength and mentality. Oh, I can keep going. I can keep going. I can do it for a few more hours. But the more you do that, it starts to affect your attitude. You start snapping at people, right? You don't want to be bothering anybody. Don't talk to me. Mm-hmm. Your health,
right?
Not resting, it will affect your health. Some people get high blood pressure, strokes, anxiety, all of those kind of things. It affects your relationships. We can't have a good relationship if you constantly working all the time. Right. And I'm like, when do you ever go to bed? Right. When time you go to bed, it's time for me to get up and go to bed. So, we don't have time. Can't spend time together. Your creativity is depleted. If writing is your fruit, you get what they call writer's block. Uh-huh. You can't think anymore. You don't know what to write. You just all of that gets affected.
You're mentally drained.
You're mentally drained.
You can't produce anything else when you're exhausted.
And what we call it is simply burnout. We get burnt out, and we can't do anything else. Right. We can't do it anymore. So we have to get out of the mindset of I'll rest when I finish. Mm-hmm. No, you rest while you're working. Mm-hmm. Pick it back up and work on it until you finish. Or if you got to rest in between, like you said before, technically you should be working 45 minutes, working for 45-minute increments, taking 15 minutes to rest within an 8-hour day. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really how it's supposed to be. Right? Now, we can't control the companies, but
there are some countries that that require everybody, the whole country, to shut down for a certain number of hours every day. Yeah. And I know this to be true because of the company that I work for is a global company.
Mm-hmm.
Certain countries, they make it is a requirement for every employee to take so many weeks vacation. Like you can't opt out of it.
Yeah. And that's good too, because before, I think so, some companies, they give you a certain amount of days for vacation, like sick days, or personal days, or vacation days, or whatever. And when I was working, our company got to it when you got up to a certain level, you had unlimited days. There was no limit to the number of days you could take off, which is good and bad, right? Because when you had a certain number, 2 weeks, you get 2 weeks vacation. You knew you were going to take 2 weeks off within that year. You have unlimited time. Oh, okay, I got unlimited time. I can take off. I'll take off.
Right.
But you don't intend with the set number of time, you intentionally set, because you got to get your time in before everybody else, right? This unlimited time, I can tell you on one hand how many vacations I took with unlimited time. You would think a person with unlimited time would be off every week.
Oh no, it was a psychological play when they came up with that. Because first of all, when they first came out with it, for me, I felt guilty about taking time. Because it was not like you had this on your like it was built into your compensation package. Like, oh yeah, you got your 2 weeks vacation or your 3, whatever it is, vacation. All of a sudden, there is no vacation time. You just take it as you want it.
Yep.
And there's no set time. I was like, nah, that ain't right. I can't do it. And I'm gonna feel like I'm cheating the company or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we didn't take it. Here comes the end of the year, and you took 4 days.
Yep.
And they knew it. They knew it.
Oh yeah, they knew it.
Here's the other thing too. A lot of times we'll take those 2 weeks, and we are so busy during those 2 weeks, even on our vacation. We're so busy running around and doing all of this stuff. When we get back from vacation, you need a vacation. Right?
You need to rest from the vacation.
So sometimes you take a week out of that at least and do absolutely nothing. And that's hard for some people.
Yeah.
Why? Because we feel like we're going to miss out on some life experience that I cannot experience while I'm working. So let me try to get it all in now, these 2 weeks. Because Lord knows it'll be next year before I have this opportunity again.
That's it. And so the question is, for those of us who say, I'll rest when it's finished. When is it finished? When is it ever finished? Because when you think about it, it's always going to be another email, another project, another bill, another something, another household task you're doing. It's another ministry responsibility. It's always going to be something else. So you can't just say, I'll rest when it's finished. Because it'll never finish. Right. It's never going to finish. So again, that's why we're saying, so when can you fit rest in?
Again, you can't fit it in. You have to intentionally put it in.
So another way of asking that then is that, what rhythm of rest do I need to protect?
Yeah. Ooh, now that's good. What rhythm of rest?
Rhythm of rest.
Right.
Do I need to protect?
So so you can do that daily.
Yeah.
Weekly.
Yeah.
Monthly. Annually. Build your rhythm of rest in those time periods. Like I said earlier, every day I should be taking 15-minute breaks every 45 minutes to an hour. Do I do it? No. Nope. Every week we should be taking at least one day to just rest. Do we do it?
Nope.
No. Every month if we're taking 1 day a week, we should be taking at least 4 days out of the month just for rest. Do we do it? No. And then we program our yearly rest around our work vacation. So we let them dictate 2 weeks.
Yep.
Is that right? No. So that rest thing should not be dictated or controlled by any external force, whether it be your job or any of your other responsibilities. You've got to intentionally program rest into your daily life. Make it a rhythm. A rhythm of living.
Yep. You got to put it in there and you got to keep it going. Yep. So how about this? How about we do a rest audit?
Okay.
A rest audit. Okay. So for the next 7 days, pay attention to what drains you and what restores you. And then at the end of each day, write it down. Okay. Okay. Right. What drained me today? What restored me today? Did I create any quiet margin? What boundary would have protected my energy? These are the thoughts, right? Then choose one new rest rhythm to practice consistently. Just one. One rest rhythm. Ooh, rest rhythm. Rest. Say that over again. Rest rhythm.
Rest rhythm.
Right. And practice it. Get it in a habit. Make it, put it in your routine, your daily routine. And let's see what you come up with at the end of 7 days. Okay? All right. So we're going to do our teaching close moment. Oh, but then I like this. Oh, I did already say that, didn't I?
What's that?
Don't become so busy producing fruit that you destroy the tree producing it.
That's good.
That's good. Okay. So our teaching closing moment. Rest doesn't mean you stop being productive. Rest means you've recognized that you are a steward, not an unlimited resource. God gave you an assignment, but he also gave you limits. Honoring those limits isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Jesus knew when to serve the crowd, and Jesus knew when to lead the crowd. Maturity is learning to recognize when God is calling you to do both. You don't have to earn rest by exhausting yourself first. Rest is part of the rhythm that enables you to faithfully finish what God has called you to do.
Very good.
Very good. And it is well.
I'm sleepy.
It's time for you to rest.
No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
See, it's the difference. What? You said you sleepy. I guarantee you, if he went to sleep now, he would not sleep the whole night. He would not rest. I've seen him wake up 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and him and ChatGPT on the phone going at it. What are you thinking about? What are you see? The mind, it had to be so the mind was still going for you to wake up out of your sleep and have a conversation with ChatGPT.
Right. You just reminded me.
What?
You need to ask Chat something.
Or here's the other thing that I brought up to him. So if he's not physically touching something, that's producing, that's working. Something is happening, but if he's not physically touching it, he feels guilty because he thinks he's missing out. You're not working. Not being productive. So he has a real estate deal right now going on right now, but he doesn't have to do anything right now.
That's weird. I don't like it.
He can't handle it. He's like, I feel guilty. I feel bad because I'm not doing anything.
Nothing for me to do. Nothing for me to do, which is weird.
It's weird. A lot of us We have to be involved from start to finish. Our hands have to physically touch or be doing something to make us think we're being productive.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, your time is coming. It's not your time yet.
Right.
So rest on this.
Rest on this.
Until it's time.
Until it's time.
Yeah. So
hallelujah.
We're gonna end with our declaration.
I don't know if I go both ways.
Wow.
Okay.
No, this is not rest. Okay, so it says, Father, teach me to trust you enough to stop. Free me from the belief that everything depends on me. Give me wisdom to recognize when I am becoming depleted and encouraged to establish healthy rhythms of rest. Restore my body, renew my mind, refresh my spirit, and realign my priorities. I will work when it's time to work, rest when it's time to rest, and trust you in both. I choose sustainable fruitfulness over constant exhaustion. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen and amen.
And that's that. And it's hot.
Woo! All right. Good session. I like that.
Oh.
It's very, by the way, it's probably one of the most important sessions that we could ever have. It's one of the most overlooked things, and that's rest, especially for those of us who are trying to achieve things, trying to produce things, trying to make, get somewhere, make some things happen. You cannot do it without the proper rest.
That's it.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. And
get your rest, people.
It is biblical, it is spiritual, it is ordained by God. Get you some rest.
Get you some rest. And on that note, we're going to let you rest.
We're going to let you rest. Thank y'all for joining. We love you. And good night.
Good night. He just had to do that. Bye, y'all.